Mm. Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly, that's good. Mm. Damn. Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I'm here at the campground. Um, it's almost comical because um, by the time we got back from the game yesterday and got into the campground and situated, it was hell 12:30 or so, something like that. And then we've got a cabin too. This is where we've got the RV parked and stuff. We've got actually our griddle and a stove and stuff ready to go in here. And David Wiley, um, our chef and everything else, after they got situated over in the cabin, he said, "Okay, I'll be over here at 6:30." I'm like, "Dude," I'm like, "It's like 1 o'clock. What are you talking about 6:30?" I said, "Today, the hall doesn't open up till 10, and we got to pick up tickets for the autograph signings, which is after 12 to 5 is when you get those." And I said, "I don't have the Shriman ceremony, the gold jacket dinner until tonight at like 8." So I'm like, "What are you doing? Do you think this is the military?" I was like, "Take your time." I said, "Like, wait till at least 7:30 or something." Well, I gotta get my watch inside there, but I think it's getting close to 9 right now. And so I've been up kind of organizing and cleaning some things up in the RV so we have more space to work with. And David has not been seen sight or sound, so I don't know where his ass is. But I'm up and about and getting going. So we've got the first preseason game in the books, and the biggest takeaway that I'm happy about from the game is the fact that nobody got hurt, that we didn't have any injuries actually, other than Claypool was the only person that you actually saw getting helped off the field. And for both teams, I'm not a Steeler fan whatsoever, but you hate to see people get hurt just willy nilly. You don't want them to get jacked up in a preseason game. So actually, that's the number one thing. Um, I would say without a doubt that Garrett Gilbert definitely solidified himself as the backup quarterback. I know a lot of people are now concerned about Dak Prescott, that Troy Aikman is kind of saying that maybe Dak is more injured than what was thought. I haven't seen all of the news and stuff just yet, so I'll double check into it and see what we've got and see who's who and so on, if that is actually the case or not. But Dak will, in my mind, I think Dak will be fine. But like I said, I think they're just taking and being cautious. This time of year, everybody's kind of injured a bit. But Garrett Gilbert made some good moves and some decent passes in there. That catch by Noah Brown was great, seeing that. But let's slow down let's pump the brakes just a little bit. Hold, let me drink some more coffee here. Let's pump the brakes here a little bit on um, everybody going crazy about what's going on with the Cowboys. It's only the very first preseason game of the preseason. It's the Hall of Fame game. The team has had literally 2 weeks of total practicing, only 1 week of padded practices to start playing, and you didn't have your key players. Now, the good thing in here was um, the Cowboys were playing well in the first half, in a game where I was amazed that we didn't see so much sloppiness in the first half. There was only, I think, one penalty in the whole first half. The Cowboys were moving the ball. You can see that they are definitely going to be a pass first offense if that play calling was any indication of it, of what we're going to see. That they are going to be passing and passing and then passing some more. I'm okay with that because I look at the strengths of this team. It is a passing offense, and if we can get started making those passing plays with the offense like that, it's going to open up the running lanes for Zeke. If we come out running the football right away, the team's going to put 8 men in the box and stuff, and you're going to batter and bruise Zeke Elliott. I want to see Zeke being able to take it to the house. And it's hard to do that with 8 men in the box. If you spread out the formation, if you spread the ball around, it will help everybody feast on that team. Defensively, the second half, which was a lot of young guys, it's almost comical if you watch my live stream from the game itself. Quentin Bohannon, my first impressions were he was high in his pass rushing. And see, this is where the coaches used to say, you can't play titty games. Okay, and I'm not trying to say anything sexual on that. But as a defensive lineman, if you're up high and your chest is hitting his chest, you're not making progress. You got to have the lean, and I call it the 90s, because basically your body is like a 90 degree here and a 90 degree here. So it's able to move, it's able to attack, it's able to push them away from you, because if the offensive lineman gets into you, then you're lost. You've got to get that separation and be able to shed and move and be able to step away from him. And that's what I saw from Quentin Bohannon in the second half. He was high. And I'm sitting here going on my phone and looking at what the talking heads are saying. And damn if somebody did say the exact same thing on Bleacher Report about him being so high. Micah Parsons, first series, being involved in a takeaway. You got to love to see him out here actually making some moves and actually getting upfield and attacking. I love seeing that. That made me happy as could be, and I hope to see a lot more of that. What else did I see that I didn't like? Oh, geez. Cowboys have 4 quarterbacks. Now you can say maybe Dak Prescott's got some injuries, situations that we're dealing with, and so on. I can understand that thought process. But Garrett Gilbert, I'm okay with as our backup quarterback. We've got some people who are out. We need to sign a veteran. I don't know what veterans out there that you think that are actually going to make the team better. We signed a guy who was a 8-year starter who had been to the playoffs 4 times, be it never winning one, who it didn't matter. Quite frankly, after seeing Garrett Gilbert play last year, that one game he played in, I was ready to install him and say, let him be the starter, let him get coached up, and let Andy Dalton walk. You can argue that case and say he'd be in a better position right now than had they done that or not, but be that as it may. But I'm okay with Garrett Gilbert because he at least was here last year. He's been here all offseason. He at least knows the playbook. Ben Deanuci is the 4th quarterback. Cooper Rush, he's been kind of hanging for years and stuff. They didn't really pass a lot with Cooper. I'm okay with Cooper being our 3rd string quarterback. I went to JMU. I love JMU. I'm proud of being that I went to JMU. I want to see guys who went to JMU play well. But clearly, Ben Deanuci, watching, we were up in the Sky Suite. It was actually really cool because it was actually on top of it. You actually got a great view of the field. You can see everything, and I'm sitting here literally by the bar, and Joe Boo had a few refills there during the game, which was great. And seeing him throw, and there was pressure there. He did get a lot of pressure, and the offensive line didn't do a good job in there. But he threw sidearm. And I was like, okay, he's throwing sidearm to kind of get around the guy. I see what you're doing there. But then again, I saw him do that sidearm pass a couple more times, and it's just like his mechanics were so far off. He's throwing off of his back foot. He's throwing awkwardly. He's going to the left, and it just doesn't look fluid when he was trying to come back and throw and stop and gather himself. Unfortunately, I think that Ben Deanuci is not going to make this squad. I think Ben Deanuci is the first guy who's circled and say, okay, that's one of the guys that'll be cut. He's still got more preseason games to go. And he does, as a 4th string quarterback, you don't get that many opportunities in camp. But quite frankly, the team is not going to carry 4 quarterbacks. And I think, as much as, like I said, I would love to see, Ben Deanuci um, have an impact and be a decent quarterback because he did go to JMU. I don't think that that's going to happen. I know there was a Rondell Carter sighting out there. I know Jabril Cox got a tackle in there. I've got to actually, this is just going by memory from last night. Other observations on the defense. Definitely saw guys flying to the football, trying to gang tackle. Keep in mind, this is a game that's not game planned, it's not scripted, and it's just basically we're going to go out there and do some work. I know people are mad because, oh, we lost the game, we stink. Guys, we were going for it, 4th down and 15, okay? Kickers weren't able to kick. This game was basically a situational practice where they could go through and say, let's see how these guys react doing this, this, and this. And that's purely what it was. So don't get too bent out of shape about this game. It's just a meaningless one. But the only thing that did mean something is that nobody got hurt. That was the key. And the final part on this is, it was actually good to see Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones getting together in there and actually mending the fences. This has been something that has been hanging over our heads for too long. And I think that, I don't know, people always say it's karma. Maybe it's karma for Jerry Jones, that the football gods, after us, let's be clear, okay? Let's be clear. What happened in the 90s, to go from being a 1-15 team to building a young, deep, devastating team that we did, that won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, was above and beyond what you're supposed to get. It was an embarrassment of riches. We're here looking at the coach being inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame tomorrow night. For Jerry Jones to be so arrogant, instead of taking the blessing that it was, to just kind of say, screw y'all, it was all me, was maybe the karma, maybe it was the football gods that were saying, oh yeah, we're going to put a 25-year curse on your ass. And that has literally been hanging over the heads. And it doesn't matter that you found quarterbacks like Tony Romo. And you know what? People say, I hate Tony Romo. It's not. Tony Romo's a good quarterback, but for whatever reason, it just never worked. To have gone through and had your Jason Wittens, your DeMarcus Wares, to have DeMarco Murray have that great season, but to have no other success, you almost have to say maybe that was divine intervention. It was the football gods there saying, hex on you, Jerry Jones. But maybe now, that he's going through and trying to make amends for all of his past transgressions, maybe now the Dallas Cowboys can finally move forward and start to try and get back to football. I'm glad to see that finally happen, because both of those guys, both of them should be honored for what the Dallas Cowboys did in the past. And that wealth of knowledge that Jerry Jones wasted, in the same way that you have guys like Charles Haley that come to practice and giving back and stuff. Jerry should have been able to have a relationship with Jimmy Johnson and say, Jimmy, what the fuck do I do? What do I do in this situation? Can you help a brother out? That's a relationship that lasts a lifetime and that builds championships. Okay. That's what I got this morning. I need to check with the party cabin and see how those guys are doing, because I think that was the party place. I think that they stayed up all night like giddy little kids and stuff, having fun, and I ain't mad at them. I definitely passed out last night, um, and glad that I did. So hopefully it won't take forever for this video to upload. Today will be the quietest day here, well, until tonight. We'll be at the Gold Jacket dinner, and we're going to be going through the Hall of Fame today and showing you guys what it looks like inside of there. And other than that, we're just going to kind of take it easy. Tomorrow morning we have the parade, and what else we got tomorrow? We got the parade, oh, and the induction ceremony for Jimmy Johnson. And so I'm going to get myself together, and I'll see you later. Peace.